News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. And there's your closing bell for this Tuesday on Wall Street, which saw the best quarter in 6 years, ending on a positive note. Chip makers extending their surge from war-driven lows, and signs of economic resilience fueling optimism about corporate earnings. We're going to get into all of it. First, though, let's bring you the closing numbers. We do it for you each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 gained 58 points. NASDAQ gained 394 points. That's more than 1.5% higher. The Dow was about 0.25% higher. It gained 135 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.44%. The 2-year yield at 4.15%. WTI crude oil right at $70 a barrel, and Brent crude just under $73 a barrel. A divided Supreme Court has delivered a huge blow to President Trump's immigration agenda, striking down his planned restrictions on birthright citizenship. The court said an executive order Trump issued hours before his inauguration last year just couldn't be squared with the Constitution's 14th Amendment. Bloomberg senior national reporter Miles Miller.
It now throws the president's immigration agenda sort of into a flurry. What is left to figure out is what happens with USCIS. Is there further litigation risk? There's a lot of questions still unanswered, but a big win for people in the immigration community who were saying that this was fundamentally going to change the way that the U.S. has operated for 150 years.
The opinion was 6-3. In his dissent, Justice Samuel Alito wrote, quote, "This is one of the most important decisions in the history of this court, and in my judgment, the court has made a serious mistake." Now, President Trump responded on social media, calling the ruling too bad, but also calling on Congress to work on ending the 14th Amendment, birthright citizenship, through legislation. The Supreme Court also tossed long-standing federal limits on spending by political parties in coordination with candidates in a ruling likely to help Republicans in the November midterms. The president also reacted to that on social media, calling it a big win for Republicans. The justices also upheld state laws banning transgender girls and women from competing for their schools on female athletic teams, rejecting contentions that the measures violate the Constitution. And yesterday, the Supreme Court ruling that expanded the power of the president to fire top government officials, something former FTC Commissioner Rebecca Slaughter called disturbing.
It is a massive transfer of power from Congress to the president, and it's a transfer that transforms these agencies that Congress set up to work for and be accountable to the people into instruments of the powerful and of the executive.
Former FTC Commissioner Rebecca Slaughter was fired by Trump, and hers was the fight that wound up before the Supreme Court. She was a guest on Balance of Power. The Supreme Court has also agreed to hear more cases going forward, including whether bans on semi-automatic rifles violate the Second Amendment. A national assault weapons ban expired in 2004. The case is expected to be heard in the fall. The court will also hear Apple's appeal in a case versus Epic Games over its App Store fees. Chip stocks are seeing their best quarter ever, extending an extraordinary start to the year driven by insatiable demand for AI equipment. Mandeep Singh is global head of tech research at Bloomberg Intelligence.
I think it's partly explained by the backlog that these companies see, whether it's NVIDIA or the customers of NVIDIA, which are the hyperscalers. I mean, we are talking about $2 trillion of combined backlog for the hyperscalers.
Mandeep Singh with Bloomberg Intelligence. Representative Tom Keene Jr. has returned to the House of Representatives for the first time in nearly 4 months. The New Jersey Republican had been out of sight and his whereabouts unknown since early March. Keene addressed the House.
Several months ago, due to health concerns, I entered the hospital for some testing. I did not believe that this would result in a long-term stay. I was given the diagnosis of depression.
Keene is running for re-election in one of the most hotly contested House races in the 2026 midterms. In sports, LeBron James leaving the LA Lakers. His agent says he plans to play his 24th NBA season somewhere else. The Lakers have released a statement thanking James for his 8 seasons with the club. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris, and this is Bloomberg.